Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week world currencies, stock markets and commodities deep dive for Friday, August 15th, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies showed broad weakness against their peers. The greenback fell notably against European currencies, dropping 52 cents to 0.8545 versus the euro and 75 cents to 0.7378 against sterling. Short-term returns reflect recent dollar weakness. The US dollar has declined over 2.4% against the euro month to date, while showing similar weakness against the pound with a 2.5% monthly decline. Looking at longer-term performance, the dollar has struggled over the past decade against European currencies, falling 17% versus the Swiss franc and showing minimal gains against the yen. In other currency pairs, the dollar showed mixed performance. Notable strength emerged against the Indian rupee, marking 7 consecutive weekly gains in a very strong upward trend. The Singapore dollar has remained relatively flat. Weekly returns show modest gains for the greenback against Pacific currencies, rising 0.56% versus the Kiwi and 0.43% against the Canadian dollar. The yuan remained essentially unchanged. 10-year returns highlight the dollar's strongest performance against the rupee, gaining nearly 34%. However, it has shown relatively flat performance against the Canadian dollar, up just 5.7% over the decade.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Indonesia leads with a 3.7% gain to 18.50, showing upward momentum for 3 straight weeks. Spain and Italy both hit new yearly highs, advancing 3.6% and 3.2% respectively, with strong upward trends. In month-to-date returns, Spain shows impressive gains of 9.2%, while Chile follows at 8.6%. Year-to-date, Spain leads with a remarkable 57.3% return, significantly outperforming its peers. Looking at longer-term performance, Spain and Italy show strong 3-year returns above 105%. Over the 10-year span, Italy leads with a 66% total return, while Indonesia and Chile show negative performance. Among underperforming markets, Poland declined 1.5% despite recently hitting a yearly high. Turkey fell 1.2%, while Philippines dropped 0.9% amid sideways trading. Mexico showed resilience with only a modest 0.48% decline. Month to date, these markets still show positive returns with Poland up 5.3%. Year to date, Poland maintains strong performance at 60.3%, while Turkey and Thailand are both down approximately 4.5%. In the longer view, Poland shows impressive 3-year gains of 128%. However, Philippines and Thailand both post negative returns over the same period. The 10-year picture remains challenging for most markets in this group.
Considering commodities, I'm liquidity. Gold futures hit a new all-time high before retreating 3.1% to 3,381.70. Silver futures broke downward after consolidating, while copper futures remains flat despite its strong negative trend. Year-to-date returns show mixed performance in metals. Gold leads with a 28% gain, followed by silver at nearly 30%. Palladium has struggled, closing down for 4 consecutive weeks. Long-term performance metrics reveal gold's strength with a 10-year return of 204%, averaging 11.8% annually. Silver follows with 150% over the same period, while aluminum shows minimal gains. Energy futures show broad weakness. Brent crude and crude oil futures both closed down for a second consecutive week. Natural gas broke upward after consolidation, but remains in a strong negative trend. Month-to-date figures show significant declines across energy futures. Crude oil leads losses at -9.3%, followed by Brent at -8.2%. Natural gas has fallen nearly 6%. 10-year returns in energy remain modest. Crude oil leads with a 48% gain, while natural gas shows just 4.4%. 3-year performance is notably weak, with all major energy futures declining between 30–67%. Livestock futures show strength in cattle markets. Feeder cattle leads with an 84% 3-year return. Lean hogs plunged 17.2% this week. Class 2I milk gained 3.9%. In grains, soybean futures jumped 5.5% amid a strong upward trend. Wheat hit a new 1-year low at 507. Rough rice broke higher after 5 days of consolidation. Grain futures showed mixed performance today. Corn futures surged 6% to 405.75, while soybean futures climbed 5.5% to 1,042.75. Wheat futures declined for the 4th consecutive week, recording a new yearly low at 507. Looking at long-term performance, soybean futures show the strongest 10-year returns at 11.5%. Wheat futures and corn futures have struggled over 3 years, with annual rates of return at -16.9% and -13.5% respectively. In soft commodities, coffee futures led gains, rising 8.6% to 336.10 amid strong upward volatility. Orange juice advanced 4.8% to 247.90, while cocoa added 3.7% to 8,278. Monthly returns show coffee futures leading with a 13.6% gain. Orange juice and cocoa both experienced declines in August, down 4.7% and 2.7% respectively. Over the longer term, cocoa shows remarkable 3-year performance with a 51.7% annual rate of return. Orange juice has struggled over the past year, down 46%, while coffee futures maintained positive momentum with a 41% annual return.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.